Hello and welcome back to the Hallberg-Rassy yard. Today is a big day for me and the whole team. Today we'll go out. I have prepared the code. The wind will pick up later today, but we will start with the code, and later today it will probably change to jib. So let's go out. What strikes me first when I see this new Hallberg-Rassy 370 is the perfect mix between tradition and modern design. She is beautiful. She has the integrated bowsprit, a plumb bow, a wide stern, but still the classic line when you look at her from the side. There are few designers that can do this, but Hallberg-Rassy is one of them. Surfing back towards the coastline. We actually did fly the Code Zero on the way out, and the wind picked up slowly all the time. And now we actually have steady 20 knots of wind. So a lot of fun. So code on the way out and jib on the way back, and we have actually achieved 11.6 knots here. Effortless, I would say. It's easy. She's very nice on the rudder. You can, in one way, sense what is happening, but at the same time, when I was on the limit here on the way back surfing, when I turned full, in this case port, I could actually control her. So I'm very impressed by the performance. She's smooth, feels bigger than 37 feet. It's always fun to fly a light wind sail in tougher conditions, but that's the beauty with the Code Zero, that you can just simply fall off the wind. It's easy to furl, and you can fly it in higher winds than one could think. So it's extremely fun. I think we will do some more laps just with the jib, because the wind is steady now around 20 knots. Welcome to the interior tour of the all-new Hallberg-Rassy 370. So we have many new design features in the all-new Hallberg-Rassy 370. The design of the ceiling, you can see it's a floating ceiling with indirect lighting. So it looks light, airy. Really like it. And as always, you have European oak wood in between here. So completely new design in the ceiling. And as you can see, we have the European oak as timber. If you prefer traditional Khaya mahogany, that's still the standard on the 370. So the galley is one of my favorite spots on board the Hallberg-Rassy 370. You can be here preparing food, talking to your guests while they are relaxing in the easy chairs. There are no dividers anymore. So it's an open area between the workstation on that side, the saloon area and the galley. So it's a very nice place to spend time. The working area is generous. You have double sinks here with covers. Top-loaded storage next to the stove. And as always, a shopping board. A large soft closing drawer for forks and knives. All the lockers are ventilated. Separated garbage bins for the first time. You have sliding doors like this in the galley. A lot of storage for plates, cups, glasses. And I like this little detail. You have a window that is part of the big tempered glass window in the superstructure, but you can open this part. Top-loaded refrigerator here. Day fridge here. If you don't want an extra day fridge, you can use this part of the galley as storage, or you can opt for a dishwasher. Freezer or refrigerator under the navigation seat. So it's a double thermostat, so you simply set the temperature that you want, either as a freezer or refrigerator. We go to the next feature that we have never done on 37 feet before. It's the easy chairs. My favorite spot in the Hallberg-Rassy 370, and it's here in the forward easy chair. So when I sit here, it feels like I'm in a larger Hallberg-Rassy. As always, super comfy. I have perfect visibility through the port lights in the saloon. I see the horizon, and I can also see through the port light in the owner's cabin. Best spot. Also, when sitting here, you realize how good it is to have the port lights in the hull on a panoramic view or horizontal view, because it simply gives a much better view. It's hard to understand why you would mount them standing. Another nice little detail in the 370 is the top-loaded bar. So I have one here. Behind the glass door here we have Swedish crystal glasses from Orrefors with the Hallberg-Rassy logo, of course. If you prefer a traditional settee or a sofa on the starboard side, that's still standard. As always, you can fold both the easy chairs forward to reach a really generous storage behind. Shelves, and as always with fiddles, and below the easy chair you can see one of totally 3 freshwater tanks. We have large tempered glass windows in the superstructure that goes all the way down to deck level,
So when I stand up, I have a fantastic view out of the boat. It's clear glass, both in the port lights in the hull, in the superstructure and the skylights, to allow as much natural light as possible coming into the boat. Another thing, a detail we have improved in the all-new Hallberg-Rassy 370 is the curtains. So also in the saloon there are no press nuts anymore, and you slide them like this. So much easier. I have moved over from the easy chairs to the L sofa on the port side. Top-loaded bar here. If you would opt for the standard settee on the starboard side, you will also get a larger table with flaps on both sides. And when you opt for the easy chairs, slightly smaller table. Crystal glasses from Orrefors with the Hallberg-Rassy logo. So you have wine glasses here and whiskey water glass between the easy chairs. Behind me here we have a small top-loaded hatch. So on this boat it acts as a storage, but you can also opt for a retractable TV. Earlier we had visible hinges here. They are now hidden, so it looks even better. Behind here, the backrest, it's foldable. You have storage or a wider berth and also a reading light. You can lift the backrest on the L sofa, attach the line here. If you want to sleep in the L sofa in the marina, for example, you lift it like this because then you have a wider berth. If you want to use it as a sea berth when sailing, you lower the backrest and you mount the lee cloth, the canvas cloth on the outer end of the sofa, and you sleep tight in between. So below the sole board, the L sofa and the easy chairs, we have totally 3 fresh water tanks. One on that side, one on that side, and one below here. Plus 2 fuel tanks, one below the sole board and one under the sofa. We also have a proper bilge. So the bilge is 35 centimeters, 1 foot 2 inches deep. So a proper bilge. Even though we have been able to put in easy chairs in the saloon of a 37-footer, we have not compromised on how much volume in water and fuel. So that's a big thing. It's actually, when standing here in the saloon, it's hard to believe that I'm standing in a 37-footer. I just want to make sure that they have built the saloon table after the Hallberg-Rassy standard. Yeah, it's okay. So welcome to the owner's cabin, the forward cabin. For the first time ever on a 37-footer from Hallberg-Rassy, we can offer a proper island berth in the owner's cabin. If you want a more traditional Hallberg-Rassy 370, you can opt for the standard V-berth. We have a completely new design on the white painted wood panels here. And you can see it looks like it's floating against the hull almost. And you have the timber European oak behind. Curtains like this, and in the cabins you have blackout. It's hard to believe that I'm actually sitting in a 37-footer when you're here in the owner's cabin. The berth is huge, the island berth is big. You have a lot of volume, a lot of natural light. You have the port light in the hull here, so you have a really nice view through the windows when you sleep and when you lay down in the berth here. You can open to port lights in the superstructure. You have a skylight with mosquito net and blackout, plus a ventilator. Also a lot of storage. You have storage under here and also on that side. More storage up here and indirect lighting. You have a hanging locker and a seat, and you have also storage under the seat. 2 smaller lockers on the starboard side. Another super nice feature that I really like when you opt for the center berth is that you have a super big storage under here. So as you can see, when you opt for the island berth in the Hallberg-Rassy 370, You get a huge storage under the berth, so really cool. You can also reach the storage from here, which is great. Another new feature is that we use lightweight plywood under the berth here, but also in the ceiling. And the lightweight plywood is great because you still have the same stiffness as before. The cushions here is upgraded to sprung mattress. So you can order memory foam, sprung mattress, or you can have the standard sandwich foam, which is also great. Under the berth here you have 2 batteries lithium from Victron, totally 7680 watt power or 600 amp hour, 12 volt. Bow thruster and anchor winch runs off the lithium bank here under the island berth. The combination with the wide berth and fewer batteries gives a big storage, but also less weight here in the bow. While we are here in the owner's cabin, I will take the opportunity to show you a typical Hallberg-Rassy feature. And as always, you have hatches in the floorboards if you need to have access to anything like a through hull fitting or the speed transducer, for example. There is always a hatch. The same thing here. So if we open the forward one, you can see that you have a through hull fitting, you have a filter and a small pump, and this pump here is connected to the deck wash pump. So this is where you take in salt water to clean the chain. When you order the timber in European oak, you also get the floor in European oak with ash strip. The carpet looks like this, and we offer different colors. The carpet is great for grip when sailing, but it's also noise cancelling. So it's a nice option. I like it a lot. It has a rubber backside to the sole board, which is super clever. And it also can handle different temperatures, and you also have different humidity in different areas in the world. So it's a carpet that works very good on board a sailing boat. So I have moved to the workstation, and as you can see, you have fiddles where you need them on the side here. Between here, it's completely open. So if you work here with a computer, you can sit here for hours. As on all new Hallberg-Rassys, it's a clean design here. We have covered all the switches. The old school switches are still here for nav instrument, autopilot, multifunction display, etc. You also have the main switches here. This is new for the Hallberg-Rassy 370. So you have no switches next to the batteries anymore. Instead, you control all the consumers here. So consumers that service refrigerator, for example, and engine start. Aft is the battery group for the winches and stern thruster. The bow thruster runs off the service bank that is mounted just next to the bow thruster. You have different bilge pumps. You have one in the saloon, for example, and then you can set them on off, manual or auto. Auto means that if a little bit of water finds its way to the bilge, it automatically starts. You can also add as option alarm. We don't have that on hull number 1. You have the control panel for the heater, plus the main panel for the Victron system. Victron system is batteries, the lithium bank, etc., chargers, solar panels. So you can see a lot of details in this display as well. What we have done, which is similar to the Hallberg-Rassy 69, is that we have mounted a Raymarine plotter screen here, which acts as a normal Raymarine screen, but also act as digital switching display. So you can control and look and see the level of the chargers, the batteries, how much water, fuel you have, for example, plus controls. So to activate the flushing pump, for example, to clean the chain in the bow, you can press here. If you want to activate winches, the powered mast, you can push here. And in 370 hull number 1, the boat we are on board now, we have one chart plotter here. We have one chart plotter on the outer chart table and one in each steering pedestal. Everything that you can see here, for example, tank levels, this can be viewed in each chart plotter. Also, the controls can be controlled in each chart plotter. So not only here. Very clever. To explain it simple, this is for the technicians and this is for the owners. Before closing here, I want to show you how it looks here. So here are all the automatic fuses, and as always, labeled. And you can see here on the doors that the grain is matching, so the front and the door is the same piece. So a lot of nice little details here and there. When we varnish the timber, in this case European oak, it's completely pore filled as always. All drawers on the new Hallberg-Rassy 370 have soft closing function. The head is located just next to the entrance, which is perfect. The head is generous. I love the design that you can see the European oak also in here, not only white. You have a proper shower that is separated. You have a curtain for the door here and a plexiglass door here. So you can completely close when you shower. And a drain pump. If you do a crossing or you sail for days, for example, it's great to have a seat so you can take a shower also during sailing. I have really nice support here. Water will not splash because I have the plexiglass door and the curtain here, and I have support. You have a holding tank that is emptied by gravity or by pump out from deck, and you have the two control valves just next to the toilet. Outlet for the heater, two port lights that you can open. Milk colored glass so you can't see through. This little window here, the location of this window is under the spray hood. So you can open this window also when sailing or if it's raining outside. You can keep it open for good ventilation. You have a proper hanging locker for foul weather gear. Welcome to the generous aft cabin. It's the new design of the white painted wood floating panel here. I really like the design. You have blackout curtains, a nice little shelf here with fiddle, plus an outlet. Storage, hanging locker, reading lights. You have a good standard setup with outlet, 230 volt or 110 volt, depending on where in the world you will sail. But you can opt for as many outlets as you would like, also USB, 12 volt, etc. You have a window here that you can open. You can open that window there as well. And here you see quite a large side panel. This panel here, if you open that, you have a huge access to the aft part of the engine room. So you can reach the engine room from here, but also from the stairs that goes into the boat from the cockpit. A very generous engine room. It's a Volvo Penta D250, so it's a 4-cylinder diesel engine, 51 horsepower with a sail drive. The all-new Hallberg-Rassy 370 is equipped with the 3-blade folding propeller from Gory. The nice thing with this propeller is that it's combined a minimum drag on the sail with maximum thrust on the power. It also delivers much higher efficiency compared with the feathering propeller, plus 11% forward and 6.5% in reverse. It also provides higher sailing speed thanks to its very low drag, and a nice side effect of this unique design is that it helps prevent seaweed and debris from snagging on the propeller. Here at the forward part of the engine room, we have the silencer, we have an automatic fire extinguisher, fuel filter, main engine seawater filter. As always, everything is labeled. And this one, I like to talk about it. It's a typical Hallberg-Rassy feature. You have a manual drain pump that goes to each fuel tank. And in this case, you have 2 diesel fuel tanks. So you can pump out sample here to make sure you have good diesel in the boat. This is the view from the side panel that you reach from the aft cabin. So from here I have very good service access. I have the 2 alternators here, stern thruster, the electrical little pump for the electrical toilet, isolation transformer, and also the ventilation to the engine room. You have a shoe locker here. The steps is, as always, untreated teak with caulking, so you don't have to treat it, and it's very good grip also when wet. Welcome on board Hallberg-Rassy 370 hull number 2. We are here to show you the difference from hull number 1. So immediately you can see it's a different type of timber. On 370 hull number 2 we have Khaya mahogany, which is standard. If you opt for the Khaya mahogany, you also get the sole boards in real wood in Khaya mahogany with ash strips instead. So a beautiful traditional look. And in the modern Hallberg-Rassys, where you have so much natural light, it doesn't matter if the timber is darker. So you have the new floating ceiling where you can see the indirect lighting here. The wooden strips here, they come with Khaya mahogany instead. And if you have European oak, they are in European oak. So it gives a slightly different look. Apart from that, it's the same. It's a very nice, welcoming saloon. You want to spend time here. You can see me here also sitting in the settee instead of the easy chairs that we have in hull number 1. It's obviously a personal preference what you prefer. This gives you 2 really good extra berths, and if you want to sleep during sailing, you can opt for leak cloth on both sides. So it's a very nice spot to sleep when the boat moves. And if you sleep in the marina, you can lift the backrest and you have a wide, very good berth. You have a reading light on that side. Let's move forward to the owner's cabin. This cabin impresses me. The berth is huge. I really like the contrast here with the new floating panels. You have knife cut timber behind. What you get with this standard V berth is that the berth itself is larger. You get a huge storage under here, and you have even more lockers in this cabin. So it's impressive. It's so wide here, so it makes it possible to sleep with the head forward. So you have the reading light on this side. This end here is 224 centimeters, so that is 7 feet 4 inches. And that end of the berth is 106 centimeters, so that is 3 feet 6 inches. What we have achieved is 2 fantastic options. Again, this boat is 37 feet. This cabin is just impressive. It doesn't matter which type of layout you choose. So here I am in the galley. Everything here except the timber is the same, but there's one difference. In the other boat we have a day fridge here. But if you don't opt for the day fridge, you will get a big locker instead. So again, 2 great options. Welcome to the deck tour of the Hallberg-Rassy 370. Let's start here in the bow. We have the integrated bowsprit. One difference that I spotted immediately when I looked at the boat is that it's wider than on previous models. It makes the passage forward even easier. I'm standing here on the platform for the bow ladder, but it's a very clever design. You have the plumb bow on the modern design, and it makes the passage down from the bow to the dock or the rock much easier. So it's a nice option, nice feature. You can also see where the Code Zero is mounted. So the Code Zero has a fixed point here, a pad eye, not all the way out on the bowsprit, a little bit further back. And if you want to fly a Genacker, you fly that all the way out on the bowsprit. As before, the windlass and anchor goes through the bowsprit. The furlex is under deck. On this hull number 1 here, it's powered. You can also have a manual furlex if you prefer that. The tow rail goes around. I think it looks very, very good. We have a strip here to protect the tow rail from the lines. On number 1 here, we have also added an additional strip that runs all the way from the bow to the stern outside of the tow rail. And of course that gives a great protection if you, for example, if you sail in Denmark, it's normal that you're more in between wooden poles. And if you have a protection strip here and on the rubbing strake below, you can drive through poles like that very easy, and you don't have to be careful really. Navigation light is well protected here. So it's a clever, easy design. Hallberg-Rassy logo, very nice. This is the PU deck. Optional, you can have real teak if you prefer that, or you can have a normal white anti-slip Zelleroth deck in combination with a tow rail in PU teak or real teak. The anchor locker is redesigned, so it's now a light wind sail locker. So it looks like this. So you can see where the chain goes through to a separate compartment. Rest of the locker is dry. We have the hose for the deck wash pump, and the deck wash pump is used to clean the deck and most importantly to clean the chain. So already here on foredeck in the bow you can see features that was simply not possible on 37-footer from Hallberg-Rassy before. It's great to have such a big dry locker here on foredeck for light wind sail. In the morning now we've been out flying the Code Zero. It was fantastic. Later today we will fly the jib instead. So I will drop the Code Zero into the sail locker, and we will simply show you how it's done, and I will do it myself single-handed. So here on the superstructure you can see the custom-made solar panel, completely shaped after the superstructure. And in total this gives you 486 watt. And as you can see, I can walk on it. You have a built-in anti-slip, so it's good grip also when it's wet. So it looks good. It's a clever design that power up the boat fantastically. It's a very nice option. Another first time ever on a Hallberg-Rassy is that we have the Genoa jib track up on the coach roof. This gives very nice upwind performance because you can go slightly higher. It also gives a clean and uncluttered look. The track on deck in combination with inner shroud and outer shroud that is separated makes a clean look, but also a very easy passage. And you can see here the control line for the Genoa jib track goes under deck here together with the sheet. A very clean, uncluttered look. And you can control both the track and the Genoa jib from the cockpit combing with either a traditional manual winch or a powered winch that we have on this boat here.
Also for the first time on a 37-footer is that the track is moved out of the cockpit. So now you sheet the main sheet in front of the windscreen. It's obviously great for a number of reasons. It's just great to have a clean, uncluttered cockpit. You don't have to worry about the main sheet when you have guests on board because it's completely free and open. You can combine it with a bimini top, which is a solar panel roof. You can sail with the bimini top up all the time. And the car for the main sheet is led back to the stoppers and where you keep all the lines in the cockpit combing. So easy to control from the cockpit. The central part of the window is possible to open, as always. So you can put the sprayer up for sun protection, but at the same time have a really great ventilation through that window.
The all-new Hallberg-Rassy 370 is equipped with furling sails from Elvström in Epex membrane, in this case a mix of Vectran and Technora. The main sail is also a fet furl sail, meaning it has optimal sail area and maximum roach, thanks to a headboard in combination with vertical battens with a carbon top. She's also equipped with a light wind sail, a furling Code Zero, together with the new CXR25 furler from Zelleroth. A very clever furler with a built-in ratchet that locks and only turns in one direction. Super easy to use. The Code Zero, by the way, is my absolute favorite light wind sail. It's incredibly easy to handle because it's on a furler, and it can make the difference between motoring for a day in light conditions and actually sailing. It's really amazing how little wind Hallberg-Rassy 370 needs to get going with the Code Zero up.
One nice feature is the opening gates here, and again you have strips here to protect the tow rail. And I've mentioned it many times, but it's a typical Hallberg-Rassy feature. The drains on deck drains under the waterline. When you have polished the hull in the spring, it stays like that throughout the season because there no rainwater or seawater from deck drains out on the outer side of the hull. Super easy, clever design that makes a better boat. You have a handhold here on the window. New, larger saloon port lights. They go all the way down to deck level, and it also increases the visibility when you stand up inside the saloon, and it gives even more natural light than on previous models. So here we are at my new favorite spot, behind the carbon wheels. You might think this looks like real wood, but it's actually not real wood. It's painted carbon, but it looks amazing. And it's again with carbon. Of course, this is an option you can live without, but it's for sure nice to have. Compared with a traditional wheel, it's much lighter. So the feeling you have when sailing, it's fantastic. Today we had quite nice pressure with the Code Zero, and I could steer her with my fingertips. Absolutely lovely. There are many other new features, and the first time ever on a 37-footer from Hallberg-Rassy. You have twin wheels, makes it possible for easy passage between the wheels. Also a very good position when sailing. You can walk from this side to the other side. You see the jib and you can see both sails and the telltales standing here. You have the possibility to fold up support when the boat heels over more. You have a manual bilge pump here, the control for the engine, and the shower for the swimming platform, and the inlet for the shore power is also back here. The new pedestal heads on the Hallberg-Rassy 370 is mounted up on the benches here, and that gives a much more sturdy construction. On the pedestal head you have a stainless bar to hold on to. The first time ever again on a 37-footer is that we can offer both bow and stern thruster. So they are retractable as before, and you
push both on buttons at the same time and then they start, and you can simply move the boat like this. So it makes life easy when going into port. You also have a hold function, so if the wind is blowing you off the dock, you can press hold and it pushes the boat against the dock, and you can also moor single-handed. And as you saw when we came in here, I moored the boat myself, so it makes life easy. One can say that on this side is mainly for engine, so you have bow and stern thruster, start and RPM meter, and anchor is on the starboard pedestal head together with a plotter screen. And on the port side pedestal head you have all the sail functions. And on this 370 number 1 everything is powered, so both furlegs and main mast is powered, and all 4 winches is powered, and you can control them from here. You have another set of buttons also in the coaming. In the center a nice storage, which is also a place for a spare gas bottle and a handle for the manual bilge pump. The main gas bottle that is connected to the stove is mounted over here. The optional swim platform here, it also doubles as a helmsman seat. Very clever. As you can see, the swim platform is huge when it's folded. You have a nice step here, and then the bathing ladder folds out here, and it has nice handle, so it's easy to go up and down. You can see this is a nice position. I can sail a boat from here because I can control the autopilot from that optional screen over there. And you can opt for a fixed cockpit table in the cockpit like the one here. So it's high gloss varnished teak with a stainless support and with a foot brace under. I'm a big fan of fixed cockpit table because it's always there. You have a nice little storage in the center. Most importantly, it's a great support when sailing because you have support for your feet, but you also have great support when the boat heels. And you have built-in fiddles in the top sides here. Under me on the port side here is the port side aft cabin, and on the starboard side is a huge cockpit locker. Another first timer on a Hallberg-Rassy 37 footer is that we can actually offer washboards on gas spring. That's also the first time ever. We have the new Raymarine Alpha displays. They are much larger. The displays are super clear. The numbers are big. You can see clearly from the whole cockpit. And plus it's a screen, so you can set them up exactly how you prefer. On number 1 here, we opted for an extra screen on the outer chart table. You don't have to do that, but it's a nice option. If it's bad weather, this is where you end up. You sit in this corner. You can control the autopilot. You can see the chart from here. You have space enough to have normal paper charts on the port side instead. It's time to leave this lovely place, which is called Sillbyssan. So please come along.
What I like so much with this new Hallberg-Rassy 370 is the balance between everything. Everything is ideally shaped for this size and type of boat. It's easy to steer, it's very good fingertip feeling in the steering, exact steering. It's an open and generous cockpit. It's easy to handle the boat. It's a generous interior. The new Hallberg-Rassy 370 contains the latest know-how from the most talented yacht designers of our time, Frears from Argentina, and it's the latest thinking in hull design, in steering, in sail handling, in performance. With a modern hull shape and traditional values, you get the best of both worlds. You get good performance, you get good living space, you get lots of elbow space, you get comfort, you get sailing joy, all in one package.
So we've been out for a couple of days now with the all-new Hallberg-Rassy 370 and I'm in love. It's an amazing boat in many ways. First time I saw it on the water, I got a big smile on my face. There are so many things I like about this boat. I love the mix between tradition and modern style. She's so easy and fun to sail, but you still have the feeling of safety when you're out sailing. The Hallberg-Rassy 370 is for someone that enjoys sailing, easy sailing, and likes to spend time on board during all type of weather. And in short, I would say she is really a boat for a yachting connoisseur.